Hey everyone, welcome to Tuesday Night Show and Share. We come here every Tuesday, every week, no matter rain or shine or hot as the surface of the sun out, and sit in the air conditioning, show off our project, something we've made, something we're working on, something that we've totally screwed up and we want to warn other people or we need help with. I have a list of people that have signed up to show their projects tonight, and first on the list is Sue, and she is showing tubing. Like on the river, tubing down the river? Oh,
Not that fun.
sadly.
So a few weeks back, I put in the Arts and Crafts channel that I would like some tubing, and I got some. So I thought I would show what I've done with this tubing. I saw a hack where you could make bobbin covers. So with my trusty not fiber scissors, right, these are kitchen shears. I cut small pieces of them. I slit it up the middle and made bobbin covers. So what this will do now is keep the bobbin threads from unraveling and going all over the place in the bobbin box. So yay, I don't know how long they will last. So part of this, I like the clear, because you can see no matter which side you're looking at, you can see what color the thread is. But I like the reinforced. It may keep its round shape more, you know. So I don't know which one will win in the end. I do know that the clear was much easier to cut. I could only cut a few at a time before my hands got sore. But that's my project. All right. Oh, question.
Show us one of the bottom covers
Oh,
by itself
by itself.
and how it goes on.
All right. Well, we'll just take this one off right here. And you just pull it off. And then you get the thread close. And then whip it down. Hopefully you can hold the thread here, which I was doing with some of these, and you can spin it around. I've cut some of them kind of tight, so they don't spin around in the bobbin very well.
Cut it off.
Yeah, I can trim it a little bit, or I can trim the thread. But sometimes the thread just spun around within the bobbin. But yeah, at least they are contained now. Did that answer? All right. All right. Thank you much.
We're always looking for ways to improve the shop with our making, so thank you, Sue. Next up is Jason, and he is showing saloon doors that are out there. So everyone, please file out there. Just kidding. Don't do that. Do you think he made them out of cast iron? Let me get the door.
So, this weekend I went to a festival. You know what? I can shout that. This weekend I went to a festival. We were doing a Western theme. So, yeah. So, I used my newly learned laser cutter skills to cut. So this is bolted both to the front and the back. So they cut 2 spec, and then on the inside I used foam. I've used some structural wood where it's needed to hold. So there's one piece down here, one longer than, one across, and one below. And that's so I can put hardware in. So, but the inside is then filled with foam, just regular old styrofoam. So it's super light. And I designed it so that these panels can come out. So we can take the other festivals and just make a different design. That way it's not a one-off. Yeah, I think the big thing that I did learn from that is instead of doing posts, I need to change these and make it an arch. That way they stay level. Because trying to level these on a field with stones underneath it was absolutely crazy. Yeah, so people like coming up to our camp and kicking the doors open and being all crazy. So, yes. Any questions? Yeah. No, this was just Cat West, and we called ourselves the Catnip Saloon. I mean, you're welcome to.
So you laser cut those horizontal?
Yeah, everything. I didn't get time to actually turn these into louvers. So there's foam behind this, and I sprayed it with polyurethane to keep it waterproof. I put some flashing along the edges to try and keep rain from affecting that. But the reason I just put them back in there was so I could spray them. Now, over the next couple of weeks, pull each one out. They just friction fit right now. Cut away the foam on the inside and at an angle so they look like louvers, paint and stuff. And oh, by the way, they disassemble. I've made it so that these screws are easy to go in and out. So you break it out into the pieces and the doors.
How long did it take you to make it?
Well, it was a rush job, so I would say it was a total of 8 hours of work. Spread out 2 hours per day, 4 days. Okay. Cool. No more questions?
All right.
Next on the list, we have Tracy, not me, who is doing a wall hanging.
Hello, everyone. So I wanted to share something I made for, something I made for us, for my husband and I. I wanted to make a wall hanging that just kind of represented how I feel about our home. And since I always save these, like this is obviously a failed 3D moon print, but I never throw fails away because they're so much fun. You can be more creative with a fail. So I thought this one worked great. And so I put, I'm not sure you can see, it's probably too big to lay down here. Kind of going. Well, kind of. Yeah. Zoom out. That's probably what I could do. Well, what's in there? You can see. Well, it's upside down, but I'll let you imagine that there's a moon and a sun in there, which is great. And this is a frame I picked up at the store and an old honeysuckle wreath. And we live in a rural area, so we have lots of things I love outside. You know, so as I pick things up, I add it to the wreath. And it's a temporary thing. It's not going to last forever. It'll keep changing because I'll keep breaking things off and adding things to it. This is hung by a fishing test line. I don't remember. It was whatever I had handy. I don't remember how, but it's hung on the wall for 3 months, and it hasn't fallen off, so I'm real happy about that. And then there's some sand in here goes into the plant. This is my home planet, by the way. This is how I feel about it. It's our little safe spot. And so I've got this sand in here that usually goes inside the planet. And then my husband always brings me things home that he finds because I love that. It's just a little rock, but it sits in the sand and I don't know, it makes me happy. So, but yeah, that's it. Any
So how do you feel about your home? It's your safe place, and if it represents how you feel about home,
It's everything. It's beautiful. It's breaking off. It's not perfect, but we rebuild it, so it kind of works as a representation. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah.
when the sun and the moon pieces, were those part of the original print?
No, those are a separate 3D print that I took from. I like a lot of museum pieces. It might be. I don't remember. I save a lot of stuff, and then I just go grab it, so I don't always remember where it's from. But yeah, that was a separate piece that I glued in there. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, thanks, guys.
I love everything about that. Next on the list, we have Jeremy, who is showing an aquarium ATO. I don't know what that stands for, so I hope that's part of the share. What ATO stands for?
Okay, so this project is an aquarium auto top-off water change system. So I'm really lazy, and aquarium life means that you're supposed to be changing your water frequently, but no. So this project is the project box is probably the. Can I zoom this out? Let's see. It is okay. Well. The box itself is probably the most significant part of the project. It's got open air hexagons for airflow, and also because I want to be able to see it and I think it looks cool. If you can see as you pass it around, the way that I've wired it up this time is I've got this board which everything sits on, so that I can laser cut the bottom part so that I can hide my spaghetti on the bottom. The board is just a piece of 1/5 inch wood that's been laser cut. I laid out the different parts and then laser cut the holes. This is just a diaphragm pump to take water out of the aquarium. And just for some context, so that you can kind of see what this thing is supposed to do. So this is the tank. This is where that guy lives. This is a sump. So the water goes down here, goes through there, and then back up to here. Here's where I pull water from and add water back to. A little bit closer up. This is a smart switch that I built, the cabinet I built a while back. This is an old light controller. You can see how far I've come. This is the water line that goes to the aquarium, and also the wastewater line that goes across the room to my washing machine drain. I don't have a picture of that, but then you can kind of see here. The brackets are 3D printed. The tubes are just 1/4 inch RODI lines. Let's see.
how big is the aquarium?
The aquarium itself, it's I think 25 gallons. It's an 18-inch cube. I think total volume is 125 liters. But I think that's what I think 35 gallons ish. I think I've got it set up. I didn't bring it, but I've also got. Can't really see. So I've got two headphone jacks here. This is the power line. I've got 2 headphone jacks for sensors so that I can tell when my sump is low and when the water is full. It's all automated. This is an ESP32. I run it all with Home Assistant. The reason it's out today is because I was having a problem with it yesterday. I think my network was to blame, but I've got buttons on the front. I've got buttons on the front so that I can turn it on and off without having to go to the computer. LEDs to show if it's on or off. There's a power switch. Have I messed up the focus? Maybe. I've done something. Oh, there we go. Got power button on the front in case it turns on and won't turn off. I had to turn it off yesterday because I was having issues. I do have safeguards in place. It'll only run water for a total of 10 minutes. It's adjustable so that I don't flood my basement. The water line has a cutoff after 15 minutes so that I don't flood my basement. So water comes in through these, and then this one pushes water this way. This is the valve that lets water go out. So it sits like this. This goes up and over, and this goes down to the aquarium. And then magnetic so that I can show it off. So, questions? Yeah.
How much time have you dedicated to this whole project?
That's a great question. A lot. I kind of got into aquariums about 4 years ago as a follow-up to a childhood, dream. Kind of at the kind of right when COVID started. This particular box, I don't know, man. Probably 10 hours of modeling spread across 3 or 4 weeks. The one that's being passed around, the box, is actually a fail. The fail was that the top lid was just a little bit too small for my print bed, and I could have glued it together, but I just went ahead and redid it. Yeah, cost-wise, I think I've got about $50 in it, but if you were to go to Amazon and buy all the components separately, you're probably like 140 or something. But I have most of these components laying around from other projects. Yeah.
Was this all your design, or did you find it on the internet, or what?
No, all of this is all my design. I do all my work in Onshape. Sorry, open source guys. Yeah, this is the box. The top and the side are one project. I'm hoping to be able to reuse that because I've got to do this almost exact same thing again for the lights. The front and the back and the base and the mounting plate is kind of specific to each project, so I've got that in a separate project. So hopefully when I do this again, it won't be as difficult. Yeah.
Can you say a little more about the headphone jacks and how they function?
Yeah. Okay. So the headphone jack goes to, and I meant to bring it and I didn't. It goes to 2 little float valves at 2 different levels, and so when it's just the ESP is just reading an open circuit or closed circuit. This one over the top one is a little bit more complicated. It's a moisture sensor that I don't have it done, but it's going to go on the bottom part and the top part, so that if water starts to overflow or I have a pump issue or that this thing will cut off. But it's using I think it's a resistive sensor. Anything else? All right. Thank you.
Very nice, thank you. Last on the list is Sean, and he has a human-computer stamp synthesis.
So, like a couple of months ago, I showed a stamp that I had carved out of a raccoon, and this was originally explained that when the image generators, the AI image generators first started coming out and everybody was scrambling to them, I was like, some of these just look bad, like they were not good at generating realistic looking things, but they were actually pretty decent at generating strange takes on common things. So I decided I would just fiddle around and translate AI generated concepts into physically carved stamps, because the stamp carving process introduces a bunch of your own style and imperfections and stuff. So I thought it'd be interesting to see how that turned out. So I started with the raccoon, and I've now finished my initial series at least. And so this one was just asking it, what does a raccoon look like? And that was what it said. I have some of the prints as well if the stamps don't look as great. I don't have the raccoon on me though. And then I asked it to do like a just space, sci-fi, and it came up with this sort of swirling nebula type design that I really dug. And so that came out sort of in better contrast there. And so that was a really time consuming one to carve just because of the amount of small lines that I had to carve away. And then I asked it to do a robot, and it generated this transformer looking dude. And so that turned out to be there. It's legally distinct from the Transformers, but similar in nature to it. And then the last one was I was asking it to do like Godzilla or like a kaiju, and it was like generating a lot of just nonsense. It was nothing. But the one that was the least nonsense showed up as this. And so let's see. Yeah, so that resulted in this one, and this one took a very long time to do because it was smaller and had no, like, I was like trying to pick out where the eyes would be, and you could kind of see like the face and teeth there, but all these like random crosshatch patterns and stuff. I wanted to preserve that, but also just translate it over with the carving, and especially small details like that is a little bit more difficult on this carving medium because this is a little squishier, and it's not as firm as linoleum, and that helps do the fine details. But overall, came up pretty well. And like I said, these were from a few years ago. And AI, images have progressed so much since then, so that I think I might try and do another series because I'm not really great at drawing it by hand, and so having something that then translate over into stamp carving, which I am decent at, was fun to do. So yeah.
What material is that?
They just call it Easy Carve. It's kind of like, almost feels like a rubber eraser, but just like a little less spongy than eraser, but not as firm as linoleum. And this stuff here is like a linoleum type thing. So this one was really hard to carve, took a lot of guts, and that's why I can do these whisker details really easily. And then when you actually go to stamp it, it preserves that detail. But yeah, this pink stuff is called Easy Carve, and yeah, the white stuff is also just a different brand of sort of just speedball brand carving material.
So you hand carve these yourself, or?
Yes. Yes.
How long do you think it do one carving?
Oh, I mean, the robot, because it was like a lot of big blocky shapes and stuff, took an hour maybe, but this one I had to restart. I was also toying with different transfer processes for getting the image onto these blocks. With linoleum, if you have a laser toner printer, you can actually iron on. If you apply enough heat, you can transfer the image right onto linoleum. That does not work with this. I found that out after half an hour of ironing, checking, and I tried different Mod Podge methods, and in the end, I trace over my image with a pencil and then on some baking paper, and then I transfer that over, and the graphite sticks to this stuff, the white and the pink stuff, pretty easily. So that was, so I had a lot of false starts with this one, and that took me the better part of a night to do, so a few hours. But yeah. Thanks. Oh. Yeah, I don't have it in this book. I did some other prints in another notebook, but I did get a new set of inks, so I might do some outside here afterwards. So if you do want to see that, I might be doing it out on the tables. All right, thanks.
Thank you, Sean. That's all we have for show and share tonight. A couple of upcoming things tonight after show and share, so in like 10 minutes or something. We have new member onboarding. So if you're a prospective member, if you're a trial member, if you're interested in Knox Makers, or you just want to listen to Isaac and me talk for an hour, you can hang out in the classroom and after a brief intermission, come back in here and learn more about the great place of Knox Makers. Tomorrow night is Advanced Wood Turning 202, which has one ticket left, or it did when I checked an hour ago. So if no one has snatched it up, that's tomorrow night at 6:30. Thursday, there are 3 things going on, which if you were at Knox Makers in the early days is amazing, that 3 things can go on at the same time in the shop. One is Sue's class, which is sold out, so you'll have to catch another one. There's one in the classroom. There's a July 4th Make a Blinky Star. So if you're wanting to learn how to solder, want to learn a little bit about LEDs and resistors, you can meet in the classroom at 7 o'clock to make a little blinky star. Also can be used for your Christmas tree if you want. And then also, I think it's not on the calendar for some reason, and Neil isn't here tonight, but I think this Thursday is the As the Lathe Turns thing. So that's the social night about talking about lathes and stuff. And since the classroom will be utilized, it's going to be, I guess, in the wood shop or some other place in the shop. But that's free to come to if you like lathes. Come and talk about lathes, I guess. And Friday is the heat press authorization class, and that has a few tickets left, and that is at 6:30. Sunday is our board meeting, which you're all invited to if you really want to see us talk about administrative stuff. That's virtual. You don't have to come here. But also a reminder that if you are a trial member, anytime that there's a class going on, there's someone in the shop. So you can come be in the shop while there's a class going on, as long as you're not like disturbing the class. So a couple of announcements. Sue mentioned last week that we're going through an upgrade in our accounting system. So if you see something bizarre come through your email, let us know. If you are used to getting regular QuickBooks invoices and they have magically stopped, maybe check your spam. But otherwise, just don't forget to pay your dues. And then also the air conditioner filters need changing if anyone would like to volunteer to do that tonight. We typically do that every Tuesday, especially in the summer, because they run and get hot and then the air conditioning freezes up. So if you're here on an off night and you see that they're really gross and dirty, please change them, because when the air conditioner freezes up, then not good. So that's all I've got tonight. If you want to stay for new member onboarding, we'll give it about 10 minutes, then come back in here. Otherwise, go make cool things.